champions. I'm talking about Illinois native of his own. He was born in Naperville. Started off his career with the Astros for a brief time for about 2 seasons. And then went on to become a famous broadcaster with the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm talking about the one and only Harry Kalas. He actually passed away in April of 2009, April 13th, at the age of 73 years old. But if you remember this guy, he was also one of the impressive voiceovers for NFL films, and did a lot of stuff. And one of my favorite quotes for him was, "Great teams are not great all the time. They're just great when they have to be." And here's one of the things I wanted to get into as we take a look at everything right now, to the man, the myth, the legend, who did a lot of wonders for the sport as we take a look at it. But yeah, definitely a true guy lost, one of the voices of baseball, and it's just something I want to play on the airways as we get ready to hit this break. But yeah, it just goes to show you right there, you gotta have a passion for this industry, and what better guy right here as we are the man, the myth, the legend, who has kept a lot of Philly fans around as baseball and in football. Here he is, Harry Kalas. We're getting ready to hit commercial break, okay? So I'm just letting this leave this in. I saw some gay message on here, saying I'm banned from posting groups on I don't match until April 20th.
What? On your Facebook?
Yeah.
You just saw them. Who sent that?
Well, I'm doing it from the Chicagoland Sports Radio page under my Facebook account. I'm trying to share it to groups so I get people tune in.
And they're saying you're canceled, or
no, until April 20th or something.
I was telling you about how some of those groups, they just,
yeah,
they don't want people posted.
Do you hear that? Oh yes, the Rising Famous Wrestling Show is covering WrestleMania 35 from predictions to results, and of course, we do not just cover WWE, we also cover New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling, and well, All Elite Wrestling. So get excited, because this is the hottest wrestling show you can ever hear every Friday from 12 to 2.
Next time on the Backstage Hawks. The Blackhawks look as if they'll miss the playoffs for a second straight season.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But if it's any consolation prize, ticket prices should plummet.
It's a trap.
For all that and the latest breaking Blackhawks and NHL news, check out the Backstage Hawks with James 6 III, Tuesdays from 11 to noon on Chicagoland Sports Radio.com.
Last time on the Kids. Well, I mean, we go all across the Chicago season, but back in the day about the Cubs, they'd be bad, still sell on the stadium. Same thing with the Bulls. The Bulls can be bad, still sell on the stadium. Same thing with the Hawks. Subpar product, huge brand. Listen to Kevin Trigoni and my new partner. It's the heavyweight champion of the world. You know who I am. It's Robert Reflex. On the Cage Radio every Monday night from 7 to 9 only on Chicagoland Sports Radio.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312-884-8000 or visit 530 South State Street to learn how you can make your dreams of being on television and radio a reality. Don't take my word for it. Check out what some industry professionals said about the Illinois Media School.
Tom Ronald,
ESPN 1000.
Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. You'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I had heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here. I'm always here to help with developing what you're passionate about. And that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. My name is Freddie Hubner. I work at ESPN 1000 as a host and sports anchor, and I am IMS.
It's a great time.
Facebook's good and Adobe's good.
Okay, thanks.
We're less than 2 weeks away from the NBA draft.
Maybe that's affecting my personal
and the
account.
Sox are well into their season.
The sharing or whatever.
Second City Sports. Break down and analyze all the latest breaking news and notes from across the
That's not Facebook jail, is it?
So join Jay Pfeiffer.
Someone put it in, Facebook. I mean, who else would do it, right?
No, but do you think that qualifies enough for Facebook jail right there?
It's a way of life.
Illinois
What do you
Media
mean,
School
like that? They
trains
would kick you
broadcast
off?
media professionals. If you
So
want
what
a
did the
career in
message say?
broadcasting,
Hold on.
the Illinois Media School is a great start. In front of the camera, mic, or behind the scenes, IMS will help you prepare for a career in
Here, I must show you
broadcasting in
right-
just 8
here,
months.
let me show
With
you what I'm
financial
talking
aid available for those who qualify. Call the
Here,
Illinois
come
Media
around the
School
corner.
in
No, just
Chicago
come around the corner.
at 312-884-8000. 312-884-8000.
Right
or
now, I'm
visit the
looking to do,
website
like-
at beonair.com.
Hey, sports fans, Pauly C here, and this is a recap of what you missed last week on the Fans Corner.
He's been literally the king of Eastern Conference for almost a decade, and
The
now
only reason to watch these.
basically, and now if he goes over, we're assuming he's going to go over to the Western Conference, right, for the first time in his career.
And then at that point, do you realize what that does to the NBA? You put him in the West, you might as well just take the Eastern Conference and fold him.
So please join us on Friday afternoons from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Nothing moves the blog.
At the end of the day, where do you expect the Cubs to be is the best question.
I expect to be in the World Series. I said this before the 20th started. You weren't here yet, but when I made my prediction for the Cubs, I expect to be in the World Series and lose the Yankees in 6.
Give me a break. WORK. They got you if you believe into it. If you bought into it this long, they got you.
The Bob Block Show with Cedric Farrell and Elijah Richardson, Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
So you want to be in broadcasting, but you don't know where to start? Illinois Media School is a great beginning. If you want to work in front of the camera or mic or behind the scenes, IMS will help you prepare for a career in broadcasting in just 8 months. And financial aid is available for those who qualify. So what are you waiting
That's what it's
for?
saying.
Call the Illinois Media School at
it is Facebook.
312-884-8000. 312-884-8000. Or
So
visit
you
the
can only-
website
so
at
any-
beonair.com.
It's a great
It
time to be a
is.
sports fan in Chicago. The
You're
Bears have wrapped up OTAs. We're less than 2
I
weeks
don't
away
know,
from the NBA
it's
draft.
jail in the sense,
And
you
the
know,
Cubs
like,
and Sox are well
I'm not in
into
jail,
their
am I?
season.
no, well,
We're
yeah,
Second
you're
City
temporarily,
Sports.
like, you can post stuff in your own stuff, but not anyone else's. That's what it's saying.
And welcome back here on deck here on CSR right now with me, Charles Prodigy, Richey, and the Caveman, the Mike Pauly C right now as we are getting ready to continue to pick things up here on this beautiful, lovely Saturday afternoon right now as we're some NBA fast break right now. And one of the leading headlines of the week, in my opinion, which happened a couple days ago, Magic Johnson surprisingly stepping down from the Lakers position. A lot of stuff, I guess there's a lot of backstage politicking going on behind his back. He was saying that, Jean Buss, he loved her like a sister, did not want to do it this way, but he ends up just moving on. And basically, right now at this point in time, is that he's at a point right now where he didn't feel like he was free. He was like happy. He wanted to go back to doing like what he was doing in the community. This was also a guy who had part ownership of the Dodgers too, and took the job about a little over 2 years ago, back in early February.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem like there was a lot of like chemistry, not just with him or as far as like GM Rob Pelinka, who's actually the agent for Kobe Bryant. And Stephen A. Smith will even report there was a lot of guys who probably weren't too fond of him, especially back in the day when Kobe was playing and how he represented. Kind of had some bad relationships with certain organizations, had some good clients, but still there was a reputation flowing about him. And I guess there's some stuff like where they kind of butt heads a couple of times. And of course, they're expecting to fire Luke Walton. Johnson was do it. I guess not. He decided to pick up his tail and run. And so basically, now at a point, now you got Rob Pelinka taking over Laker activities, and you got LeBron James right now. Like whispers are starting to creep around. If this is probably if things continue to be shaky the way they are, it may not be a good fit. But here are the candidates right now, since they just dismissed. I mean, like him and Luke Walton decided to mutually part ways. You're looking at, of course, LeBron James' former running mate and head coach, Tyronn Lue, which, by the way, was a former Laker who won a championship ring with a pair of championships in the 2000s. I think it was back-to-back or 3P. I'm not too sure. He made his little debut against Allen Iverson in the 0-1 finals. We lost game 1, but they managed to win that series in 5 games and was able to become a head coach later on, particularly coaching LeBron James, upsetting the 2015-2016 73-9 Golden State Warriors. That's where he was at.
Yeah. So no, I mean, Magic, him rubbing, the bumping in the heads with other personnel. I mean, that happens, right? I mean, people getting into an organization, there's always going to be conflicting visions or thoughts what you want to do. So that doesn't surprise me. And hey, it's not like neither was the animosity towards him from certain people. That doesn't surprise me neither, in the sense that, it's not like he'd been in the organization at a low level, right, and then worked his way up. They just gave him the, being president of operations, right? So it's, so he just basically got rocketed right to the top. So, and I think, he gave it his all. But he got in over his head a little bit. I think, there's a lot to do when you're the president of any pro sports team organization. It's your vision. The buck stops with you. You're basically, you handle everything. The owner is, that's it. It's just the owner. He signs the checks. But it's your vision. It's, what you want to do. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I think he just wanted to give up, man. Not give up, but he's just, like you said, he has other business ventures. He is a part owner of the Dodgers. I think he's retired now. I think he just wants to go on and do his own thing. And, Luke Walton getting the bounce that doesn't surprise me because it's LeBron James, right? It's coaches don't survive, okay, around him. I don't know how he escapes the label of being a coach killer, but, chalk up another one, put another notch in his belt. So whoever they get in there, it's going to be short-lived anyway.
So you're having a hard time believing. It just seems like it's only fitting that the stars kind of line up. He had a little something to do with it.
Of course he had something to do with it. I totally believe he did. It's just LeBron just doesn't, for whatever reason, whatever he feels he wants to see in a head coach, it seems like you have to, if he doesn't respect you, then he won't play for you. That's just my observation from a distance. And I feel sorry for the next guy that they're going to try and get in there to try and, coach the team. So Tyronn Lue, I would not go that direction. I would pick someone else, someone with a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more veteran experience, I guess you want to say. I don't know, maybe a former player in the league. That might help. So that's what I would start. I would get a guy who's in the league as a former. Well, you said it, Tyronn Lue is, but he'd already been there before. I'm talking about someone else. But I don't know. We'll see.
Again, 312-209-2232 is the number to call. 312-209-2232, or you can follow us on Twitter You can follow me at Prodigy Richey. You can follow my man Pauly C. It's me, Pauly C 47. As we are continuing to come live here on this lovely Saturday afternoon right now. Also, too, as we continue to move on from the Lakers right now, only the Bulls right now. According to Joe Colley of the Sun Times, Paxson and the Bulls are expected to sign head coach Jim Boylan to a 3-year extension. Wow. And I remember the very first week, I remember how it was all in the face, like the players, oh, they're working this too hard or whatever. I mean, Jim, he's like, like these 2-hour practices or whatever.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, when you're towards the bottom of the league and you haven't been relevant in, 2 years now at this point? Yeah. Someone needs to put a foot up someone's, if you ask me.
I didn't have a problem with it, and it seems like that was the only time that he did that. And I think there's nothing wrong with the head coach getting a little hard on these guys. For like you said, for not playing up to the standard or dogging or whatever. I think he wanted to make a splash right away. I think he would even admit that maybe he came out a little too strong. But reports seem to be that he is he's a lot closer to the players now than he was back when he took over. So this doesn't surprise me that they're extending him. This is a total John Paxson and Gar form move. I'm indifferent about Boylan right now to this point. Really can't see his thumb or his influence on the team yet, but maybe a full season, under his wing, starting with them in training camp, maybe it'll help out.
I guess the only other thing that he's got going for him right now, he is a Greg Popovich's disciple right there, and I think that's one of the things he's got working for him at this point in time is he does got that work ethic. He's got that grinded out style. I think that a lot of fans are looking for with him. And when you think about it,
yeah, and unfortunately, I think it's not just the Bulls. That's just a system of how the league is now. It's just practice. I've never seen NBA practice, but I can't imagine it's this, this sweat-driven, like, oh my God, like how we're gonna make it the next game. We're so tired kind of practice, So nothing wrong with a little elbow grease, but I think it's just systematic with this the league. We're just teams just don't want to practice anymore. They don't want to put in hard work or push these guys to the limit because they're afraid of injuries, afraid of tiring guys out. Which, hey, I get it. So it's this, it's this middle of the line. It's just, you gotta walk the line a little bit.
Again, hold your thoughts right now. We're going to get into this a little bit more as we're getting ready to hit the bottom of the scoreboard update. You're listening to On Deck with me, Charles Prodigy Richey, and Pauly C.
At 1:30 p.m. on the Caveman, the mic, Pauly C with your Chicagoland Sports Radio update brought to you by the Illinois Media School. For more information on a career in broadcasting, go to beonair.com. In baseball news, both teams in Chicago were in action yesterday as we start with the Cubs as they were taking on the LA Angels. They won in dominating fashion 5-1. Cole Hamels gets the win. He went 8 innings, and the Cubs are taking on those same Angels right now. It is currently the bottom of the first as Chris Stratton is pitching for the Angels. Kyle Hendricks is on the bump for the Northsiders. Also, the other side of town, the White Sox were playing yesterday as they were facing the New York Yankees. They won by a final score of 9-6. Lucas Giolito gets the win. Eloy Jimenez got his first 2 home runs of his career as well. And the Sox are back in action as they are taking on those same Yankees right now. And it's tied still 0-0 in the top of the 5th inning. And Ivan Nova is on the hill for the Southsiders. And in NBA news, to preview some games that are going to be on the schedule for tonight, you got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. That game actually starts right now as we speak on ESPN. And some other games that are on the schedule for tonight, you got Orlando versus Toronto, LA versus Golden State, and finally the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Denver Nuggets. This update has been brought to you by Chicago Dogs Baseball. The season opener and home game broadcast will be May 17th against the Gary South Shore Railcats at 7:05 p.m. For tickets, visit www.thechicagodogs.com. I'm the Caveman, the Mike Pauly C, and you're listening to Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
And of course, as you always say, it's not just sports, it's a way of life. If you're thought about a career change or looking to get into the world of media, make sure to hit up the Illinois Media School and visit our downtown campus at Harrison and State Street right here. You can check them out in Lombard. We also got another one at LaSalle and Harrison right there. They're both connected together. Well, right now, if you want to, feel free to call in. It's 312-884-8000, 312-884-8000 for the Chicago campus. Talk to someone. They could take a look at your paperwork, do an education background check, and help get you set up with tuition and possibly loans. And they can help get you in the right path. All right, right now, we're just wrapping up right here on this topic right now with the NBA fast break. We're just alluding to, as far as like the Bulls right now, getting ready to extend Jim Boylan. And here, you know what, one other tidbit too, which I think would make sense, and I would be welcome for this, but I had to start him off as a bench player. I'm sure you heard about this earlier in the week, Paul. You know where I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
Derrick Rose.
Yes.
It seems like him and his crew may be open to coming back to Chicago.
Yeah. And it really seems like a foregone conclusion to this point. I think that they're going to do it. I honestly think he will be a Chicago Bull next year. They were teasing it during the season when he came back with Minnesota, getting an MVP chance. The crowd, I think the greater Chicago sports fans want it. He wants it. I think there's a need on both people, both sides, not just us as sports fans with Derrick Rose, to kind of like a mending of the fences, right? Kind of like, let's, the way it ended was kind of ugly, and no one wants to remember that. It'd be real nice for Derrick to finish out his career right here in Chicago, his hometown. And hey, listen, it wouldn't just be like a popularity hire. They need a point guard, right? They need a veteran point guard who they can help lead the offense. And listen, he had an okay last year, right? He did a solid. He played 50 games, so it's welcome. Honestly, I have no problem with the move. How do you feel about it?
I think it's the right thing. Just the only part is I want to just question out where he is mentally. But real quickly, I did tease in here that we're going to go into the moment of the week real quickly. I'm going to make this quick because we're ready to hit this break. But I got to go with Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania 35, becoming the first African-American wrestler to win the WWE title at WrestleMania. Shout out, congratulations, my man. Enjoyed it, and let's see what happens in his career. I feel I got a prediction. I'm going to share it briefly when we come out of this break. Listen on deck, only on CSR.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV
nice
broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312.
No, for real. I mean, my personal account's okay. It's just as far as like posting those groups, things like it, right?
That's it. That's the only thing.
Does this allow me a lot back in my account?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're not banned. You're not kicked off of Facebook. And you can still post on any page, like your Steel Man podcast page and stuff. You can still post on that. It's just any groups you're a part of that you don't manage or run. That's what you can
play and shoot and edit video.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. You can share it on your own page. You can share it on your timeline, but not on a page you do not have editing rights to or.
Well, no, that's why because I got in touch with Dedrian while we were talking. And he said some screenshot, which I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna take a picture of it. No. I just wanted to advice like he's a consultant. That's why I just want to show him what's going on because I think that's like bullshit.
Well, it's probably someone complaining.
Yeah, no, I know. But I mean, it just seems kind of corny. It's like
I know they're assholes. That's why.
Consolation prize. Ticket prices should plummet. For all that and the latest breaking Blackhawks and NHL news, check out the Backskate Hawks with James 6 III, Tuesdays from 11 to noon on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hey, sports fans, Pauly C here, and this is a recap of what you missed last week on the Fans Corner.
All right, Dedrian, so here's what's happening. I'm getting ready to post like a segment from NBA about the NBA and the playoffs. And I'm going to share it to the Houston Rockets group. So here, I'm on the desktop right now. I got Houston Rockets Nation. That's one of the groups I'm part of. So I'm getting ready to post, and this is what's coming up.
You might as well just take Eastern Conference and fold it.
So please join us on Friday
I'm getting that message.
4 p.m. on
I'm temporarily restricted from joining posted groups until April 20th.
It's time to be a sports fan in Chicago. The Bears have wrapped up OTAs. We're less than 2 weeks away from the NBA draft, and the Cubs and Sox are well into their seasons.
On Second City Sports, we break down and analyze all the latest breaking news and notes from across the sports landscape. So join Jay Pfeiffer and Lakina McGee every Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, where it's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Nothing moves the blob. At the end of the day, where do you expect the Cubs to be is the best question.
I expect to be in the World Series. I said this before the year started. You weren't here yet, but when I made my prediction for the Cubs, I expect them to be in the World Series and lose to the Yankees in 6.
Give me a break. WORK. They got you if you believed into it. If you bought into it this long, they got you.
The Bob Rock Show with Cedric Farrell and Elijah Richardson, Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
So you want to be in broadcasting, but you don't know where to start? Illinois Media School is a great beginning. If you want to work in front of the camera or mic or behind the scenes, IMS will help you prepare for a career in broadcasting in just 8 months. And financial aid is available for those who qualify. So what are you waiting for? Call the Illinois Media School at 312-884-8000, 312-884-8000, or visit the website at beonair.com.
I'm not only on that bandwagon, I'm driving that bandwagon, and we're not stopping until we get to Cooperstown.
Hey, Steve, did you catch the score of the Cubs game last night?
No, actually, I didn't.
You need to tune in to Covering the Bases on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Isn't that the hot new baseball show with Matt Brown and Steven Garcia?
Yes, they cover the Cubs and sides, scores, updates, and up-to-the-minute news around Major League Baseball and more.
Covering the Bases this Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and Facebook Live.
I've been in the radio and broadcasting business a long time, more than 3 decades. And
Hey, Paul, we're getting ready to come back.
Spread my knowledge and shared what I know about the business with a lot of young minds. Maybe I could get some of those people involved. And my dad talked to schools, and I thought I could do that too, and I could do it all in one place at Illinois Media School. I've been having a great time. I tell everybody I'm learning as much from the students as they learn from me. I am Eddie Volkman, and I am IMS.
Hey, it's Prodigy and your cats with the happening stats, where we keep all your Chicago and national sports topics trending. And on deck, only on CSR.
And welcome back here on deck on CSR right now with me, Charles Prodigy Richey, and the Caveman, the Mike. You can follow him on Twitter. It's me, Pauly C 47. You can follow me on Twitter at Prodigy Richey as we're getting ready to close things out here in the bang right now. We just mentioned we're getting ready to go into NBA playoffs right now as they are heating up. Unfortunately, Dwayne Wade, as I alluded to last couple of weeks on the show, if you guys were following here, I was going to see if he would get one last chance at the playoff dance. Apparently, it's not happening. So here's where we're at right now as we take a look at everything going on right now. Here are the matchups currently given in the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, who are going to be kicking off tomorrow, taking on the Detroit Pistons. That game, of course, Milwaukee, they got the playoffs going through them all the way through. As Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I argue possibly a potential MVP candidate, will he be able to not only take them to the finals and be able to finish the deal?
He's definitely playing like it. The Milwaukee Bucks are my team to at least represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals this year. Between them and Toronto, those are the number 1 and 2 seeds. In Toronto, they got a chip on their shoulder from last year, having the best record and getting bounced so early. So, I think they can. Why not?
Yeah, and I think it's definitely right there. I mean,
and Chris Middleton, right? That's another guy who's scoring. So it's not just Giannis. That's Milwaukee's got a good team.
Yeah, and then also too, I heard with this right now, Gentry. No, not Gentry. Excuse me. As far as like with the Milwaukee Bucks head coach, I think it's Budenholzer right now. I think for right now, there was a headline with him going into this as we take a look that he is named top coach by his peers.
I think, I think that's understandable. I think it went to the right guy, right? Coach of the year.
Congratulations to him for being coach of the year, according to the National Basketball Coaches Association announced today.
I really don't see anyone else who would have made a. No, there are other guys you can make a case for, but to me, he was, hands down the guy. I mean, but when's the last time you seen Milwaukee this good and this relevant? Right? It's been a while. So it's like, what, before Jordan? Right? I mean, so it's good to see them, and it starts from your top leadership, and the vision from your head coach all the way down. But before the break, you said you had something about Derrick Rose, right?
Yeah, Derrick Rose. I mean, possibly if he was going to come back and how much this would. No, not Derrick Rose. I think it was like a little something else right here. And I wasn't saying. I think I was saying Kofi Kingston. It was Kofi Kingston.
That's what it was.
Yes, that's what it was. Just want to recap real quick for all the folks right there who actually got to see WrestleMania 35. That was probably like the decked out moment of the week. Also, of course, crazier thing also happened too was Bret the Hitman Hart being like tackled down. Finally got to see the video of who that guy was. MMA fighter welterweight seemed to be like an antagonist of his WWE's product, as if not many fans are really starting to get sick of it by now. But a little tasteless right there.
Yes.
Does it in front of like him and his niece right there.
Yeah.
The daughter of the late Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They were inducted the tag team version of the Hart Foundation, not necessarily the Hart Foundation family, but the original tag team. They got inducted, which Owen Hart is yet to still be a part of the Hall of Fame. Bret Hart was reported to have like a sore hip falling that day, but was able to still be attending in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the event to come out and be honored during that moment for the Hall of Fame inductees. And congratulations to Generation X too. I thought that was an awesome Hall of Fame speech they got in there as well.
It was fun. It was fun to watch. That fan, of course, it always takes one jerk to ruin it, but thankfully it didn't really ruin the rest of the night. They were able to go through everything, and it was good. And like you said, congrats to Kofi Kingston. I saw him debut in Monday Night Raw, before he had Titantron video. I mean, so just to see how far he's come in the dark match, that's the other thing. So to see how far he's come to this point, it's nice. It's nice to see.
And also too, let's just go back to our NBA playoffs right now. Just swing back in. So we got the Milwaukee Bucks versus Detroit Pistons. I'm gonna probably say give me a sweep in this one.
You think so?
I'll give 4 games. Why not?
I was gonna say I think Detroit gets 1.
5 games?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Next up, we also got number 2 Toronto hosting the Orlando Magic. I'll say give me the Raptors in 6 games in that one.
Same. I'll say the same.
Okay.
I think we're gonna agree on a lot of these, Charlie. But yeah, go for it.
Okay. Now we're also talking about potential like upsets in the playoffs too, and what could happen. I'm not too sure about like the East right now if you're going to see any of that happen. But you got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, remember, you got some good guys like Joel Embiid on here and all those guys. And Simmons. I really got to go with the 76ers right now on this team right now.
No, I agree. Unfortunately, I was hoping the latter part of the teams in the playoffs would be better in the sense that I think they would make the first round matchups a little bit more extensive, right? We wouldn't be talking 4 or 5 game wins. I like to see every series go 6 or 7, but I'm with you. I think the 76ers take this in at least 6 games. But I'm expecting heavy domination, not just in the East, but in the West from these top seeds.
And then also, too, we got in the NBA playoffs, I mean, you got the Celtics hosting the Pacers. I'm going to go 6 games in that one. There's still just a little bit of question of chemistry issues right now with Al Horford, Kyrie Irving, the rest of those guys. I mean, Danny Ainge is still in intent, wants to keep Kyrie Irving before going somewhere else. Almost seems like people are paying him and Kevin Durant to like dusting up with New York Knicks, but I'm not going to really buy that much into it. We'll wait and see. that one's still kind of a little iffy. It's a little bit of becoming a long shot right now. If he's going to stick around the mean green over there.
No, you said it, and especially now in today's NBA, where really the players' mentality is if I'm unhappy at any point, that's it, I'm gone. So I don't care. I just signed a contract. I'm gone. Trade. I won't play. So, I right now I think it's 50-50 at best. He stays, but this to me is my first. Not I want to say first up. This to me has potential to be an upset in the first round. Indiana and Boston. So I think I might take the Pacers in this one at 7.
And then also, as we take a look opposite side, we got also in the Western Conference, as we take a look at as well. And you got like the number 1 Golden State Warriors, hosting LA Clippers. Give me a sweep in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sweep.
I'm not giving any of the Clippers a chance in that one. Maybe 5 games if anything.
Maybe, yeah.
Right. And then you also got 2 down the line. You got Nuggets versus Spurs. This would be my upset right here on the playoffs. I'm going with this Greg Popovich-led Spurs. I just really feel like with DeMar DeRozan and the guys right there, I think just Greg Popovich is just more of a better coach. He's been around the block. I'd say he'll upset them in 6 games.
Wow.
I'm not going with the Nuggets. They're not that golden of a nugget just yet.
Nice. I'm going to actually disagree with you, man. I think it's going to be a close series. But because you said the Popovich effect, he's gonna make sure the Spurs are ready. But Denver, Denver, the guys, Antons, they got guys, So listen, it doesn't matter how coaching matters. I want to stop myself there. Coaching absolutely matters. But if you don't have the right personnel, then it don't matter. So Spurs, they try. It took a lot for them. They just barely got into the playoffs. So I think Denver at least wins this first round series.
No doubt about it. Then, believe it or not, you got Oklahoma City Thunder going to be the road team against the Portland Trailblazers. Remember, the Portland Trailblazers, they were bounced in the first round last year by the New Orleans Pelicans. And finally, DeMarcus Boogie Cousins, who's actually with the Golden State Warriors, missed out on his first playoff opportunity last year, but now finally gets that chance with the the Golden State Warriors. He's finally going to get that opportunity right now. But as we take a look at it right now, I think this is going to be the year he finally gets out of the first round in this situation. I mean, when you really look at things, as you look at this team, I mean, you got to finally think this got to break the ice right now. What's going on without Kevin Durant? I mean, they lost to the Houston Rockets in 5 games. They lose to the following year. I believe it was against the Utah Jazz. Now they get their opportunity against the Trailblazers. I'm going to go with them. And then you got the Rockets versus Jazz. Give me the Rockets in that one. Give me 6 games in that one. That they're going to ground it out.
Okay.
But now let's switch over to right now, as I just mentioned, as we take a look at it, we're going to go into some NHL hockey. As we take a look here at On Deck with me, Charles Prodigy Richey, and the Caveman on the mic, getting ready to close things out here on CSR. Oh, yes, and we are right here. This is actually dedicated a special guy here we know on our station, ESPN 1000. CB.
Nice. Yes.
Paul, you know him very familiar and well.
Yes. Love you, Chris. Always love debating you and talking sports. Yeah. So, but not the biggest hockey guy. But that's okay. That's why we're here, Charlie. We're changing minds, right?
Yes, that's right. Now let's get into it right now. As we're taking a look right now, as we're looking at the 2019 NHL playoffs right now. You know what? I gotta be honest with you. I'm looking at like one of the biggest upsets that might be happening right now. I don't know if it's gonna happen where they may blow this opportunity again, but do you really believe this is a blessing or a curse to have right now? President Trophy winner. That's usually meant for like as far as like the best team in the league with the best overall record that gets rewarded to. And you look at it, and right now, Lightning, they might be on the verge of getting bounced against the Blue Jackets. From a couple weeks ago, they're in danger of missing the playoffs. You had one of the owners come out and say, we need to start playing better, like team-oriented. Look where they're at right now.
Yeah, you said it. Doing a lot, they're in the cup. They're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? And they're the number 1 overall seed. You said, is it a curse to be the President's Trophy?
They're
winner?
up 2-0 on the Lightning right now.
Are they? Yeah, it's definitely worrisome, And is the curse? I wouldn't say no. I don't think it is. You definitely see a trend of more times than not, the team that wins it doesn't win the Stanley Cup, right? But they do make a deep postseason run. It's not often they get bounced early. So and now I don't know. In hockey, hockey's fickle. Yeah. As Daniel Bryan would say, probably the only sport where really seeding doesn't matter because we've seen it before. The 8th bumps out the 1. I mean, the Blackhawks I think won when they were the President's Trophy winner. You had the Washington Capitals last year win when they were the President's Trophy winner. So no, I just think it just depends on the team.
And then you got other matchups right now. You got the Capitals on top of the Hurricanes. They're leading that series 1-0. You also got, right now, the Calgary Flames who are trying to look for take command of their series, just like the Capitals, but this is in the Western Conference. The Avalanche who smashed Blackhawks fans' hearts towards the end and gained that final playoff spot. Yeah. Sealing the deal, congratulations to them, but they are down 1-0. And then you also got other matchups right now. I mean, if they don't win this next game, they could possibly be in some big trouble right now. I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins right now at this point in time. 2-0, but ironically, a very familiar foe. A lot of Pens fans may not want to hear about it. They used to do good against them before in the past when he was a coach over Alex Ovechkin with the Capitals. I'm talking about Barry Trotz, last year's Stanley Cup winner, doing some marvelous work with the Islanders.
Yeah, and hey, it's good to see him back. They're talking about the Islanders, right? That was a great hockey club at one point, right? Winning multiple cups. So it's good. It's Barry Trotz, and listen, he finally got a Stanley Cup right last year with the Capitals. So, and he had great success. I shouldn't say great. He had good success with the Predators. He's a solid head coach, so good for him.
And I just mentioned we're going to be going into as far as Hart Memorial Trophy MVP winner for the NHL this year. And I think when you really take a look at it, and as far as certain guys, I'm going to go ahead and give my guy. I'll probably just go with Ovechkin right now at this point in time because you are the defending champions. May go out possibly on back-to-back. We'll find out. But that's going to do a close here for this edition of On Deck with me, Charles Prodigy Richey, and the Caveman, the Mike Pauly C. You can catch him on the Fans Corner every Tuesdays from 3 to 5 p.m., as well as the Rising Feminist every Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. And we're getting ready to go for a close. And thank you to the audience for tuning in. As always, catch us every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. As we always leave you, don't be trolling, be rolling. We gone.
With the happening stats, we'll keep all your Chicago and national sports topics.
Stop, man.
Stop the live stream?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure I'm not the only person that's happy to right now on Facebook.
No, yeah. Trust me. Stop the Adobe?
Yep. Both. I'm going to go ahead and save them. They're going to stop me from podcasting.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, it's Instagram live in my stuff too.
Yeah, dude, that's just you can't post to the groups. That's all. That's all that means.
Temporarily.
Temporarily. It's not even a full time thing. That means and it could have been, all it takes is one person trying to sound off about something.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You think I could have probably had any women issues?
No. Why?
Ash picture of theater with her own.
No. No, dude,
I will never ask press or anything like that. Don't get me wrong.
No, I think someone you posted in the group, and someone in the group.
So I'm getting a little slap on the wrist. What you're trying to say?
Yes, exactly.
So I'm getting pulled over.
You're getting a warning.
I'm getting pulled over going too fast in the internet traffic highway.
You can get a warning or you can get a ticket. You're getting a warning. So
it's a great time to be a sports fan. The Bears
that's it, dude. All it takes is one.
How are you supposed to learn from the NBA draft?
And the Cubs and Sox
Hey, I'm gonna
well
keep
into their
marking.
seasons. On Second City Sports, we break down and analyze all the latest breaking news and notes from across the sports landscape. So join Jay Piper and Tina McGee every Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
So it's how you do it. You create your own page.
It's a way to
Get
find.
people to like it, share, and follow.
Rick, Amanda Nunes is the most dominant women's fighter today. Her heart is unmatched. Skills in striking are unparalleled. Getting this close to breaking Raquel Pennington. The Lioness is hungry. She's going to fight Cyborg. I've got Amanda Nunes.
I'm going with Chris Cyborg on this. I give credit to Amanda Nunes for her courage because this fight's going to be bloody.
Listen live Tuesday at 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Tune into Students of the Game, where Dr. Joseph Gregory and Dr. Christopher Rouse have the obvious answers.
Why were they dominated like that?
Why were they dominated like that? Because the Warriors were the better team, and the Warriors scored more points than them.
All right, Captain Obvious. Can you guess the specific reasons why this happened? Specific performing pieces, the coaching strategies or something.
Because the Warriors shots went to the basket what the Cavs did. Students of the Game, Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's a great time to be a sports fan in Chicago. The Bears have wrapped up OTAs. We're less than 2 weeks away from the NBA draft, and the Cubs and Sox are well into their seasons. On Second City
I'm not acting
Sports,
cocky
we
with it,
break
am I?
down and analyze all the latest breaking news and notes from across the sports landscape. So join Jay Piper and Tina McGee every Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.